Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You are watching Probably at Disney, and as you've probably heard in recent days, Disney not only dropped that long-awaited closing date for Magic Kingdom's Rivers of America, but also new concept art for its Cars Land. And when I say new, I mean new. This is not the same artwork that we saw the day after 2024's D23. And that's what I want to discuss, because when you really dig into this art, you can see that Disney made changes to the rally race ride, potentially changed the second ride altogether, moved some elements around, added some new elements, saved more of the Rivers of America than I was hoping for, and teased that this vision will change the Magic Kingdom as we know it beyond Frontierland. Also, as the title of this video suggests, this new concept art and the subsequent reaction revealed what this project's flaw truly is, and perhaps the real reason behind the backlash up until now. So clearly, that's a lot. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Beginning with the new information Disney gave us, and that's the official name of this East Coast Cars Land, Piston Peak National Park. Granted, I doubt that name is gonna stick. We're still gonna call it Cars Land or the Cars Ride, but that's the name we can expect to search for in the My Disney Experience app, and it's official, so there you go. Furthermore, Disney revealed that the closing date for the Rivers of America, Tom Sawyer Island, and Liberty Bell Riverboat will be July 7th. So that is roughly a month away from the time this video is being published. We also learned that Disney is embracing a national parks theme, or park architecture as they called it. And while this is new for the Magic Kingdom, it's not new for Imagineering. One of the best examples of this is Grizzly Peak at Disney California Adventure, which is one of my personal favorite areas of that park, so I'm kind of on board with this. We know Disney can do it and do it well. If there is a downside, it's that it's not exactly original, and it confirms that Frontierland's 19th century timeline is officially no more. Granted, this kind of already happened with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but this really normalizes that reality. Also, Big Thunder's area is expanding into Piston Peak Park with geysers, including what we learned from other sources, not Disney, will be Old Tankful, a geyser that erupts on a schedule very much like the geyser at Wilderness Lodge. In fact, in many ways, I feel like this land and its new vision is like a Cars version of Wilderness Lodge, but anyway. Furthermore, and this really took off on social media as it was reported by Scott Gustin, that Disney and Pixar made a Cars version of J. Audubon Woodlore from the old Donald Duck and Humphrey Bear shorts. And again, Humphrey Bear has a strong presence at Wilderness Lodge, but this Ranger car will be this park's central character and part of the rally race attraction's main queue. Two other reports regarding this reveal also came from Scott Gustin, and they need to be discussed. And that's the fact that Disney will share further information about that second attraction and the one geared toward kids at a later date. Meaning, or at least in my opinion, they have reworked this or retooled this. And I think part of that is because it's been moved. The original concept art for this area suggested that kids-friendly Cars attraction would be here, just under Big Thunder Mountain, or possibly, depending on how you interpreted the art, potentially across from Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But now, it's going to be on the complete other side of this new land and more in the direction of Liberty Square. What we do know is that the land's ranger headquarters will serve as the queue, but really nothing else, so this is a mystery. But the reality that it moved is definitely a big deal, and at first I thought, does this mean they have shortened the rally race attraction? But no, it seems they have moved that one as well, or at least part of the track, to where the family attraction was going to be. And they have added, as many Disney history buffs have pointed out, geysers and rainbow pools, similar to Disneyland's Nature's Wonderland. And this is such a good sign, because it's classic Imagineering, paying tribute to the past while creating something new. And I think this made a lot of Disney fans feel a lot better about it. But there's another reason Disney changed the layout of this rally race ride, and that's what might be the best news of all: the preservation of a portion of the rivers of America. I've been talking about how Disney may be trying to save some areas of the river for a while, but this is more than I could have hoped for. We are going to have a river between the Frontierland that we have now and this new project. And the fact that it appears to be a moving, flowing river, I love, because if I do have a complaint with the existing rivers, it's not a river. It's more like a lake or a pond, with the riverboat and the rafts providing that movement. But moving water is going to bring great kinetic energy to this space, as well as a natural reprieve, and likely help mask some of that rally race ride sound too. And I also love that we're getting water all throughout this land, which we did not have on the initial concept art, and that it's going to connect and meld with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The view of that water flowing down that attraction, coupled with this river, could really look fantastic, will complement one another, and will tie Frontierland together, at least aesthetically, if not necessarily logically. Furthermore, this also means my mini Mississippi River may actually survive, as is the current boardwalk. But that's not all. Disney appears to be saving other elements of the rivers and the island, including Tom Sawyer Island's classic barrel bridge and over this kid-friendly attraction space. This means this generational favorite will live on, and it appears Disney is giving us a nod to the island's Harper Mill as well. Granted, it's not in the same space as it currently is on the island, but since this is a huge excavation job, it's only fitting, in my opinion, that Harper's Mill, which was named after Imagineer Harper Goff, who's responsible for major excavation work in Disney World and Disneyland, that his tribute lives on. And I love that we're still getting a water wheel. It means there will be some iconography reminiscent of the island here too. So very happy with that. Other news we learned, and that will affect Magic Kingdom, not just Frontierland, also comes from Scott Gustin, who reported Imagineers working on Piston Peak Mountain, which appears, if it's going to stand where Aunt Polly's is today, by the way, will be inspired by Tokyo Disney Sea's Mount Prometheus and how it looks great from all areas of the park. And sightlines are definitely being considered. This to me sounds like the Magic Kingdom skyline is changing in a big way, and we may have a Matterhorn situation in Orlando where that mountain is visible in multiple lands. It's possible and likely it may even be visible from part of the hub in even Fantasyland. And if so, I hope they use it like Disneyland uses the Matterhorn for events and nighttime displays. Also notice there are actually 3 peaks now, while the first artwork only showed 1, and it appears like it might be the new logo for the rally race ride as well. But again, as is the theme with this video, that's not all. If you comb through this new concept map, you'll see another way this project will have white sweeping effects, and that is with trees. Just look at this part of the map and you'll see we are definitely getting way more shade in Frontierland than we currently do now, and more rocks in keeping with that Rocky Mountain inspiration, and that clearly extends towards Liberty Square, which once again, the new map shows the Liberty Bell Riverboat dock is going to survive. Why? I don't know. It is still a mystery. I initially speculated that Disney might make it a meet and greet spot, and I now think that has to be the case with that waterfall backdrop. It's just too perfect. Finally, if it wasn't obvious already, I'm feeling a lot better about this. And from what I'm hearing, I'm not alone. But while this is an improvement, while I like this new national parks vision, it also highlights this project's fatal flaw, at least for now. And that is the ride and IP replacing the Rivers of America, both of which you should note were missing from this new art and likely played a part in the positive response from fans. So let me explain. Imagine if this mountain range, this new area, this rushing river, the waterfall, the geysers, wasn't populated by Lightning McQueen, Mater, or even Audubon. Imagine if it was an original idea, like Expedition Everest, or if it featured characters from multiple Disney films, like Bambi, Brother Bear, Pocahontas, Chip and Dale, pretty much the theming they're going for with Lakeshore Lodge. If that was the case, I don't think there would be as much resistance. I think it's just Cars, which is one of Pixar's more cartoony movies. I think it's a bit of a liability in terms of gaining widespread support, and I think that may have factored into Disney's decision to replace all of the racing details and iconography and to go more natural and into that tried and true park motif and callbacks to Disney's theme park past. Adding to all of this is the lack of enthusiasm for the Cars attraction itself. The last we saw of this attraction was at South by Southwest, and the rally race just wasn't all that inspiring, and it confirmed this off-road experience, which isn't all that unique in various parts of the country, will be on a track after all, so it didn't appear to be as cutting edge as we were hoping for. Hopefully the scenery and the geysers and some of that unique ride experience Disney did talk about could make this a top-tier attraction. I'm not saying it won't be, I hope that it is, but I do think Disney is having trouble communicating just what this attraction is, why it's worth replacing such a major historic part of the park, and selling it to the public, which is rare. Typically, a new Disney ride is a big deal whether you like where it's going or not. Case in point, the Monsters, Inc. door coaster. But again, I've heard little enthusiasm for this attraction so far, and I think it shows Disney that IP alone isn't enough to get fans excited. So the lack of interest in the ride at the moment and the Cars IP, I think, is this project's flaw. But still, with the Muppets closing within hours at the time I'm publishing this video, and now confirmation of the Rivers of America closure on July 7th, we needed some good news, and Disney's adjusted direction with this previously unpopular project was a real boost, and I think it's a win for both its critics and for its fans. But do you agree? What are your thoughts about this? Do you like this new artwork better than the previous piece? Is Disney listening to the fans? And do you agree that the Cars theme and the attraction are the least exciting things about this project? Please let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the subject. And if you enjoyed today's video, if Disney Park news and analysis is your thing too, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Clearly things are getting interesting at the most magical place on earth, but regardless, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope you have a magical day.